Your childhood is dead and they got killed by a dude named Gunther. And we all knew this day was coming. John Cena is done with the wrestling business. We all watched a man whose catchphrase was never give up, tap out. But it made perfect sense, no matter if you liked it or not. So, if you want to see a positive spin on the top 10 worst pieces of news a person can get right behind finding out Josh was out here smoking that shit behind the scenes of Drake and Josh, but before finding out you're past the point of no return for losing your hair, stay tuned. Unless you're a child or a person I would love to sell a timeshare to, you know that wrestling is fake. And if you know that wrestling is fake, then you know that having John Cena tap out in his final match has to be one of the worst booking decisions of all time. However, if you look at it from a kayfabe perspective, it's the obvious thing to do. I would even say it's the way John Cena wanted to end his story. I'm not the biggest fan of John Cena. I wouldn't even say I was a fan of his, but when I heard he was retiring, I found myself the most emotional I've ever been for a celebrity. See, John Cena is the closest thing on this planet to being a superhero. I truly believe that he would beat Superman in the popularity poll, and that's why I got emotional. John Cena represents a lot of our childhoods, that never give up, never say quit attitude that so many children have in their early lives. And as they grow up and grow out of wrestling, they can still look back to people like John Cena for inspiration or motivation. And John Cena was always there as a shining beacon, a physical representation that if you work hard and never give up, then you too can achieve your dreams. But just like John Cena, one day you get reminded that you're only human. One day you wake up, your back hurts, you can't walk as fast, your hair is thinning. You realize you're not the person you were 10, 15, 20 years ago. You don't even enjoy the things that you used to love anymore. Not because you grew to hate it, but because it grew to hate you. John Cena sacrificed everything for our entertainment. He has broken marriages, chose not to have children because of the demanding schedule. He doesn't even own his legal name. And what did he get in return? Memes? Boos for most of his career because he won too often? Can you even comprehend what it will feel like to be told that a child that knows they only have a few days left to live wants to meet you? Well, John Cena does. And that's when the story comes full circle. John Cena knew he was losing it. Instead of dragging out his career like he saw a lot of his peers doing, only being able to see their families a few times a year, often missing birthdays, holidays, games, recitals, putting their lives on the line, passing away far too early, John Cena saw that he was a cog in the machine telling millions of people to sacrifice themselves, their families, their happiness to some soulless corporation that would clock you out before calling an ambulance if your heart stopped beating. He decided that that kind of dedication was not worth it. And that's when he decided it was time for him to teach us his most important lesson. See, he tapped out a long time ago, a long time before he even got in the ring with Gunther. He put in his 2-week notice and announced it to the world. And you're valid for having your opinions about John Cena's retirement tour and how it was handled. No matter how you feel, John Cena went out with a smile on his face. Yeah, he could have simply let Gunther choke him out until he passed out. But John wanted the world to know that it's okay not to hurt yourself for something that no longer serves you. At the end of his career, John was able to stand on his own 2 feet, not having to sell being brought back to consciousness. He was able to look at all the fans and his peers and celebrate a bittersweet end to a career with over 20 years of highs and lows. Now, instead of having to say those 3 words, I want to give John Cena a proper send-off that only a person in my position can. It's been a long day without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We come a long way from where we began. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.